Hello and welcome to another update video about BNB. BNB was quite boring over recent weeks, but now is actually following through with the following the roadmap, I should say. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty textbook diagonal pattern at the moment that is unfolding here. We have obviously been watching here for this 5-wave move to the upside. You know that I didn't cover BNB very often in recent weeks because really it was really boring. It was really boring, as you know. It was not the most exciting move to the upside here anyway, and then this long correction, which really was just choppy sideways action. Still, though, not an unclear chart. I mean, it did hold at the time our wave 2 support area. It did hold our wave 4 support area. What was a bit scary was that sharp drop back here. I think there was some, wasn't that when there were the issues around CZ? Maybe. I think there were around regulation stuff and everything in the US. Happens often in a wave 2. Then a wave 4 here, very boring. I think it actually might have been a triangle. I mean, I'm labeling that just as an ABC. And then obviously the wave 5 is also an ABC. Why? Simply has to do with the situation that we are in an overall diagonal pattern, as far as I can see it. But overall, it's playing pretty well, the Fibonacci levels. I mean, as you know, I often say the 1.38 extension is an ideal target for a third wave. That was reached, and the 1.618 is then the next sort of target for a fifth wave. So we should really see normally the fifth wave get at least to the 1.618 if the 1.38 was the third wave. Okay, so that's why I mentioned throughout the updates in the last few weeks that it should reach 364 next in a wave 5. Obviously based on the condition that the orange support range is holding. But it's pretty much adhering very well because there are a few guidelines in Elliott Wave, and also the ones that I personally follow with some minor adjustments to the original guidelines, just to narrow down probabilities, not to change anything, but to narrow down probabilities further. Obviously, the fourth wave is an ideal target for a fourth wave is typically the 38.2 retracement. So we have the third wave reach an ideal target, the fourth wave reach the ideal target, and the fifth wave as well. Now, it can always go higher. I mean, it's only the first ideal target. Higher is always possible in a fifth wave. And it looks like we are getting a few more squiggles higher, at least it seems probable. But again, because we're dealing with an overall diagonal, the wave 5 is an ABC structure, okay? So the A wave is a nice ABC itself. I mean, you could label that different ways, but to be honest, again, measuring the fibs, right? This A wave would be an ABC structure because I can take the length of this A wave within A, go to the low of what would be the B wave, and it's basically reached here the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension. Very, very clear actually, okay, for an A wave. I mean, the alternative would be to say that all of this is a wave 1. Sorry, all of this is an A wave, because it has to be an ABC. All of this an A wave in a 5-wave move. Doesn't make a difference, not at all, so just leave it. And then, yeah, we could now be in this C wave. Talking then about the target for a C wave, typically the 1-to-1 ratio is the first level to watch. $360, basically reached. Can always extend further, okay, but basically we've reached ideal targets. So that means, okay, the risk for a pullback increases, but until there is a top in place or a confirmation for a top, obviously further direct upside is possible. Next fib levels to watch here, 383, 389, and then actually 409. There is some confluence around 409 between the two ways of measuring targets. First reliable signal for a top in place, in my opinion, a break below the wave 2 low. That would be invalidation. We talk here about around about $318. Break below the B wave low, 316, even further confirmation. And yeah, I mean, earliest available indication would be a break below the 50% retracement of that third wave in the C wave, and that is $341. So if we break below 341, that would be the earliest indication, right, that we can get that some kind, at least a top of sorts is in place. But it looks a little incomplete. So I would prefer at least one more high here. And then 300, yeah, basically 383 is sort of the next 1.786. It's reacted very nice to the 1.38. It's reacted very nicely to the 1.618. So I think the 1.786 could also lead to a reaction. That's my update about BNB. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.